going on, everybody? Welcome back to the MPP, the Noah and Patrick podcast, and this is episode number 82. 82. Fun fact for everyone listening, when I have to create a player in my career, I always use the number 82.
Nice.
Yep, fun
Is there
fact.
any reason?
Nope, my first ever game that I can remember that where I used a my career type player. The game gave me the number 82. So I just stuck
Nice.
with it.
Yeah. Well, I always use 12 because that was my first number for baseball. So I just put 12 on everything I make.
Why do I think my number was 12 too? Or is it either
Now we're just
10?
lying, bro.
Okay.
Now we're just lying. Just making stuff up.
Okay.
No. We're not the same, Patrick.
Oh, news to me, I guess. I'm just kidding. Um, anyways, a lot to get to in this episode. Starting off with the NBA almost finals. We got a
So
game
close.
7 to get to. We didn't time it correctly. The Spurs just had to win the other night, and thank God they did, because who doesn't enjoy a game 7 right now?
Yeah, we got two complete opposite sides of the spectrum going on in the East and the West. The East, 4-0 sweep for the Knicks against the Cavs, and pretty convincingly. uh Throughout the whole series, other than what, game one, I think, or was it game two, where the Knicks
Game
came
1.
back. Yeah, that was the only close one all series, and their head coach Kenny Atkinson would tell you that they should have won one game. So there you go.
And analytically, coach of the year.
Analytically, analytically, they have a win.
Yep. The
Yeah, but that's not how it goes down the scorebook. So and then the most exciting thing in sports, a game seven, 3-3 Thunder Spurs tomorrow night, Saturday night game in OKC. We'll see what happens. See who gets to face the Knicks. I mean, I don't really know who would be a good matchup. I honestly, I
um,
think either one of these teams, I think they might just sweep the Knicks. I'm not gonna lie.
I heard that the odds for the championship game, if Thunder win New York for game 1 is 6.5 underdogs, and then if the Spurs win, New York is 3.5 underdogs. So
Yeah,
either way, New York's going to be on the road the first two games. So um, yeah, I don't know. The Thunder has great defense. SGA, their bench has been playing great. I think that's the number one scoring bench in the NBA or in the playoffs. So, um, Jared McCain, Jalen Williams is not going to play the game 7. He came back for game 6, but I don't think he's ready yet to come back fully. So,
yeah. Spurs have a really good chance with those two injuries, two main pieces. But Jalen Williams was out for a good portion of the second half of the year,
AJ Mitchell, that was
and
the other guy, right?
yeah, and then AJ Mitchell, who was kind of their go-to guy against the Lakers for three out of the four of those games where he was dropping 20 points coming
Yeah.
off the bench. So, uh, yeah, we'll see how it goes tomorrow night. But whoever wins, I think will be the favorite. If you look at the Knicks path, I mean, they face the Hawks, they face the 76ers, and then the Cavs, who arguably did not play great in a lot of their series, where they
Yeah.
basically won at home is what saved them a lot, and then won one game away. So, um, yeah, Knicks, I would say the easiest path by far in a while for any team.
Yeah, I mean they had a chance last year to get by or to go to the finals, and they lost to the Pacers. So, um, the Knicks team, it's not a bad team. They do have the pieces, and they've been blowing out everyone. It's probably I forgot what the stat is, but they have the most wins by 20 points in the playoffs. Um, they're just they after they lost to the Hawks, in that one game, and they just flipped the switch.
Yeah, they
It was
destroyed them in every
insane.
other game. Yeah,
And then there afterwards, but I don't know. I don't know who I would want to win the championship. I mean, New York would be crazy just for the city, and those fans are just insane. But
yeah. New York would go up in fire if
tear
the Knicks
down.
win.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It already went up in flames after they are going to
they
the
swept.
finals. So,
Yeah,
um I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen in this game seven, and I don't know what's gonna happen in the finals. Because
yeah, but and then like you said, they haven't blown people out, but also they don't really have someone going crazy. It's kind of just like a full team effort. Unless like Mikal Bridges, when I every time I look at the box score, he's like 4 for 18.
Shamit
Uh,
is
yeah,
taking off.
Shamit comes up off the bench and hits some good shots. OG Anunoby has been playing really well on offense. We'll see if he can continue to do that because he's mainly a defensive guy. But it'll be interesting to see because Spurs Thunder probably the best defense they're going to face that they face in the playoffs. All these other defenses, not even close,
Yeah.
especially for
Supposedly
Cat.
James Harden was the best defender, one of the best defenders for the Cavs in the playoffs. So
I
that's
mean, Evan Mobley was a good defender last year. I
yeah.
don't know about this year too much.
I never
How
realized
it's
how many
been.
threes Evan Mobley takes. He took a
I didn't
lot of
think he took that
threes.
many. But in the playoffs, I guess he does.
Maybe. I don't know. It just seemed like trying to be like Cat or something.
And they had to do something to combat it because it's not working.
Yeah.
It was not working. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm guessing Thunder Knicks. It'll be for the finals, and then I don't know when did the finals start.
June 3rd,
So is that Wednesday or
next
something?
Wednesday.
Yeah. So you want to make a pick right now?
I am going with Spurs Knicks, and I'm going with the Knicks. Why not? Let's ride.
All right.
But I would
I'm
love to
going.
see Wemby get his first championship this year after overcoming like literally everything in the playoffs.
Yeah. I say Thunder pull it out based off experience against the Spurs, and then Thunder win against the Knicks. I think they go back to back. Next, NBA passed the new rule we talked about a couple weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago now. Can't remember. Time flies when you're having fun, right? But yeah, the new lottery rules have passed. The 3-2-1 rule that we explained, where the lottery now expands to 16 teams instead of the 14 teams. It just adds the two 8 seed teams that make the playoffs. So in this case, it would be the Magic and the Suns would have a chance to get the first overall pick or a higher pick in the lottery. Um, which I mean, it's still very low, but um,
It's always a chance.
you never know. I don't remember what the odds were. I had them for the last one, but I didn't save them. But it's a 29-1 vote. The only team that voted against it was the Memphis Grizzlies, and a lot of the speculation is because they got a top five pick from or a first overall pick from the Jazz, I believe, for Jaren Jackson Jr. And if it lands in the top five, they can't get it because the new rule is you can't trade top overall picks. Um, oh, where is it? I had it too.
Yeah, I don't know. This rule, it's interesting. I think the last time we talked about this, it was a little different than what they just approved. I know that they have modified it. It's still the 3-2-1 rule. There's a relegation or whatever, relegation zone. Um, you don't have a great odd. Oh, you have less odds to get the number one pick if you have one of the worst three records.
Yeah, so the Wizards can't get the number one selection anymore if they're a lottery team next year with the new rules. So they won't be able to get a top pick. And the same thing with the Jazz in 2027 because they've had a top five pick for 3 consecutive years. So if the Jazz get a top five pick, or if they with Memphis, and the same thing with Memphis, if the Memphis lands in the top five, they don't get that top five pick. It's something like that. It's something ridiculous that I don't know how they're gonna work it out if they just keep picks how they are, like now, like since they've been traded because it was a top five protected pick or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's what it is, top five protected. So if they don't retain their pick in the top five because it's protected, but then they can't land in the top five anymore, so they don't get the pick.
Yeah, I don't. They should just erase all the protections on these picks because they're
Yeah.
just coming out with new rules, and now everything's just gonna be messed up. But
Yeah. And it's still a whole confusing thing because of those draft protections that are going on. But it's still a trial run or something because it's going to be for 4 years, I believe. So
yeah,
in 2029, uh, they'll have the option to continue with the format or pack it up and change the format again to something else or the original format.
and now everyone has flat odds too. It's not like, the top three is 14%, and then like 7, 8, 9 is 10%, and then the next two are like 8%, The
Yeah.
top three or the worst three is like 4% odds, and then the next bunch is 8% odds, I think.
Yeah.
And then
And then
the two 8 seeds are 2%, I think. Something like that.
yeah. Yeah, something like that. It goes 5%,
Oh, 5.
8%. The top three words 5%, and then the next seven are 8%, and then the ninth and tenth seeds are 5%, and then the eight seeds that are back in are 2%, almost 3%, 2.7, whatever. But um,
And they also mentioned that they may broadcast the dropping of the balls for the lottery.
bring
So
it
there's
back.
no no controversy, not done behind the scenes where maybe, Dallas wasn't the number one pick.
Yeah, it is crazy though now because if you have a top three or a chance of the top three pick, you have the same odds of getting the number one pick as the ninth and tenth seed that are in the play-in, that lost in the play-in.
So now
And
teams are
then
just trying to be the fourth seed, you
and
know?
then you want to be uh the non-playing teams that aren't the bottom three because you have the
Yeah.
highest chance to get the number one pick at 8%. So hey, where was that when the Bulls were just sitting in mediocrity?
Yeah, but then you couldn't have a consecutive
Consecutive top three. I think it's
top
top threes, or
top
maybe
three.
it's top five. You can't have three consecutive top fives.
Yeah, that sounds right. And you can't have consecutive first.
Yeah, you can't have consecutive first. So the Wizards can't get the first next year, but they can get a top five.
That's so confusing.
Yeah, a lot going on. I think the only way we will actually understand how it goes is when it happens. So a
Yeah.
full year from now, when the actual lottery goes into effect, the new lottery rules go into effect next year, we'll see it happen, and then everyone will be like, okay, this is how it works. So
We have a
um,
lot of time. We
a
haven't even had
long
the
time to
draft
try to
yet.
learn it. A long
We
time
still
to
have
try
the
to.
draft to get to.
I know. Draft coming up, at the end of the month.
Yep,
Or I think we talked about it, the 23rd. I think we're not going to be here, so
that's right.
um, we'll have to talk about it before, and then maybe when we come back. Um, next, MLB news. Another new rule passed. This time
Proposal.
in the MLB, yeah, or a proposal. They proposed a hard salary cap for the next CBA. The salary floor, so teams would have to spend at least $171.2 million dollars. So that's the minimum they can spend. You can't go lower than that. And the most that they will be able to spend is 245.3 million. So you can't pass that cap. I don't know if they're going to have rules in effect if a team does pass the cap because there are multiple teams right now that are past the cap. Like the NBA, there's luxury tax where you get taxed millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars for passing it. So that's why you see a lot of teams make trades for second round picks and stuff like that because they're just trying to get money off the books. But as it looks right now, teams that would be over the proposed cap are the Dodgers at 418 million, the Mets at 383, the Yankees 335, Blue Jays 322, Phillies 315, Red Sox 263, Padres 259, Braves 249, Tigers 246, and then the Cubs 245.5. Um, so nine teams. Surprising. I thought it'd be a little bit more. I thought that we see a couple more over the 200 mil, 245 mil, but nine teams that are over right now, and then there are 12 teams under the 171.2 million proposed floor. So, I mean, a lot of those teams, like I'll just name a couple. I won't name how much
Pirates,
because it's gonna go through. You have the Reds, you have the Rockets,
A's.
or Rocket Rockies, you have the A's, the Brewers, all of those teams right now, young teams. A lot of they have a lot of young guys on their contracts, so that's one of the reasons. Nationals the same reason. White Sox, part of the reason, but they're just bad. They don't sign anybody. Um, but two teams are under 100 million. It's the Guardians at 98 million, which is surprising, and the Marlins at 81 million. So just think about that. You have a professional team spending only $81 million on their players that are currently in the MLB.
Yeah, yeah, insane. I think the players always want more money, so I heard Joey Votto talking about it on a podcast, and he was saying if you even bring it up, if you even say the word salary cap in the locker room, a fight just breaks out. Like the players do not want it. Of course, Otani is getting
Yeah.
700 million. So that would all go away. Well, not all go away, but the future players, not everyone's going to get signed for that much. So um, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I definitely think there should be a floor, but maybe not a ceiling. Um,
Yeah.
I
It's
don't
just
know
the
if
seals. Oh, go ahead.
I just feel 171 seems like a lot to be a floor. Maybe like 150 million. You still got to think about the small market teams. Even though, some owners don't try like the others, but I think there should be at least a floor. But I don't think you can have a floor, just a floor, and not a ceiling with the floor. But what do
Yeah.
I
So
know?
like you said, if they do decrease it to 150 million, all those teams I mentioned are still under. So there are still those 12 teams that are still under that.
Well,
So
that's
they
their
would still
problem.
have to increase. Yeah. But but if they did that. So um my guess is that there's probably a team that's at like 175 and that's where they decided to make the cutoff or something like that.
Yeah.
Um but yeah, like you said, players get mad about the cap. So this is like the cap is obviously for the owners, so they don't have to spend all this money or like you have these players asking for infinite amount of money like Juan Soto. Like not saying it's not deserved, but now you're not going to see those type of contracts if it does go through, which honestly I think it might go through. But good chance we're not going to have baseball when this is voted on. I don't know if it's this year or next year when they have the to do the make the decisions for the CBA. But there'll probably be a lockout. I would not be surprised. Um, so might be missing baseball for a while when this does come around. But ceiling for the owners and then floor for the players because you do want these teams to spend money on players like the 12 teams that I mentioned. Um, you want them to spend more so players can make more and they be more competitive. Go out and try to sign players. Maybe you see more extensions for younger players, like Paul Skeens. Maybe the Pirates would have given him a bigger extension by now. Jared Jones, another pitcher on that team. You see maybe they give him uh, a contract earlier than dealing with uh, their 7 year, you know. freedom that they have with them, where they don't have to spend all this money on them for the first, what is it, like whatever, 5 years before they go into arbitration.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't. I mean, if it's voted on, it's voted on by the owners, so I think they're gonna vote yes, obviously for the cap. But I do think that will cause a lockout. So, um, just prepare yourself if you're a baseball fan. Um,
But I mean, you gotta think, the top hitters, right? The Yankees, the Mets, and the Dodgers, right? I mean, they
Blue
want to
Jays.
spend money, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if they would be for the cap because they kind of just go out and sign the players that they want because they don't have a problem spending the money, right?
Yeah, but if there's a cap, then the players aren't going to be able to ask for that much. So they're going to be like,
That's what I'm saying.
"Where's our
Those
cap?"
teams would be out on the cap, I would say. So it'd just be like the middle teams kind of wanting the cap.
Yeah, I mean,
No? Am I looking
well,
at
what
this
I'm
right?
thinking is it's gonna, like, once it's implemented, it drives down everything, right? So all
Yeah.
the cost, instead of having to pay $40 million for a player to come play there, it's cut in half, right?
Yeah.
So they want that because yes, they're willing to spend all this money, right? They're like, because they have the money, but if they don't have to,
Yeah, I
they're gonna
guess.
take it.
But then the players that are then, I guess, I don't know.
It's you have to think about it as it's just the owners are greedy, right? Like,
Yeah.
obviously they spend a lot of money. They also make a lot of money on the teams. So they want to make more.
Yeah.
That's how they're gonna see. It's like, oh, I don't have to spend $70 million on Juan Soto. If this goes through, then he can't ask for 70 million because then who's gonna sign him for $70 million if that's already that's already a third of their cap.
Yeah. Maybe I'm just thinking that, if Juan Soto becomes a free agent, now all those top heavy teams can only bid like, 70 million. Well, the Pirates can also build 70 million. Maybe Juan Soto wants to go there. So like, you know,
No, yeah, and that's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to get these lower teams who are not paying all this money to be like, you know what, let's go out and get a Juan Soto.
yeah.
Like, he's gonna take up a lot of our cap, but we got a young team. We're not spending on anyone else. Let's go get Juan Soto.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know. It might not happen that way. You know, it might not. I don't know how it's gonna work. They're gonna have to spend the money somehow. Maybe they just,
Like the Tigers don't want to spend a lot on Scooble, right? But the
yeah,
Dodgers, they want to
and they
they want
will. Yeah.
Scooble and they'll probably just pay everything for him.
Yeah. Well, what I think was gonna happen too is I don't know how it's gonna work with the rules. Like, I don't know if they're going to add something about this, but what we saw with the Otani deal, you're going to see that a lot more, most likely. You're going to see the stretched out contracts. If someone wants $700 million, hey, we'll pay you 5 million for, what is it?
10
For
years.
for 20 years, whatever it is.
Yeah.
200 years.
200 years. Probably. You kind of have to at this rate.
No, it'd be like 15 years or something, or something
Yeah.
like, But like, it's that's the case, you know. That's what might happen.
Yeah.
But then maybe they add something to counteract that, because then you'll just have just all, like, I don't even know how, like, you'll just have all this money on the books for years and years and years and years, and players will just keep be getting paid delayed payments, like, for the rest of their life, which is, I mean, not the worst thing. I don't know.
I don't know.
Uh, if I
Um,
had the choice, like, well, I mean, obviously we want the 700 million, like,
Up
as
front.
fast as possible, right? As fast as you could get it. But if I don't know, if they want to spread it over 20 years, is that really that bad? You know? Like, if I'm a player, I'm looking at that. Like, obviously, I want it 10
Like
years, but I'll take
Bobby
it 20
Bonilla, I wouldn't mind getting 1 million like for the next 5 years
for, yeah, for
to
the rest of his life,
not play
basically.
baseball. You
For
know,
the past, like, what is it, like 30 years, he's been getting paid
1 million.
$1.5 million
Yeah.
on Bobby Bonilla Day. Shout out to the Mets.
Yeah. So I don't, I wouldn't mind it. It's fine.
Yeah,
It's for the love of the game, you want to play baseball.
yeah. That's also another thing. When it happens, then we'll understand more about it.
Yeah,
Like, what will happen now since it's agreed upon?
yeah. Um, Brandon Sorsby, another person that we've talked about a couple weeks ago, might be months. He finally got out of rehab for gambling. His gambling addiction, spent all his NIL money. It came out, he was betting on Indiana football last year. He was denied his eligibility for this year. Suspended for the whole year, probably future years. Some mixed reaction about it, but I think it's the guy's betting on college football and other
Yeah,
sports. He was
yeah.
also betting on Turkish basketball. Like, come on. Um,
Hey, you're big on Turkish basketball, you know you have a problem.
exactly. And
They definitely realized.
he was also betting on single pitches, whether it's going to be a ball or a strike. You know, like the first pitch ball. Okay, next pitch
Emmanuel
strike.
Passe
Yeah.
style. Yep.
Whew. So, um, that happened. Got denied eligibility. We'll see what happens. From there, I think his only option is to, get drafted in the NFL in like a supplemental draft. I think that's what they call it.
It was like the supplemental picks are like only like the third round or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Or he'll
So
go Arena League, CFL,
CFL, yeah.
whatever.
USFL,
Yeah, whatever. Whatever leagues there
UFL,
are.
yeah. So yeah, well, that's ongoing this week. Another proposal. I guess this is just the proposal episode. The SEC wants to create kind of their own league, and because they don't want a 24 team college football playoff, which is just insane. I don't know. Well, I do know why. The owners want
Money,
money. Okay,
money.
the
It's always about money.
Big Ten wants money. They want all the money they can. They want the 24 team football playoff. They want to go 16, 16, 16, and then 24. So the next 4 years, that's how they want. So they want to increase it to 16 teams next 3 years, and then the fourth year go to 24 teams. And the SEC doesn't like that just because they have lost the last three, and they want their own league. So, um,
I mean, at some point, when does it kind of just get like to the point where making the playoffs doesn't even mean anything anymore? Like
that's what, yeah, that's what,
24 teams, it's like at least 12. Like, yeah, like people get angry because there's certain teams you think should be in there. Maybe there's a team that gets snubbed, but that's the fun of it, you know?
yeah,
Like
it's
there's
gotta be better.
a lot of drama. Like obviously stuff's gonna be picked wrong, like that one year, what with Florida State or something, where maybe they should have made it, but
Last year,
yeah, so it's like 24.
there's gonna be an
I don't
eight
know.
and four JMU team or something, like a Big 12 type school where they think
Yeah.
they have a chance, but they really don't. So,
It's a
uh,
lot different, I think, in the football world compared to the basketball. But also, you're kind of seeing it in the basketball now, where
they expanded.
when you can just transfer wherever you want to,
Yeah.
like all these good players can just leave uh to the best schools, and you're already seeing it. Less upsets.
Yeah, it's just gonna be a blowout in maybe the first 2 rounds. And then like the championship team for 24 teams are probably gonna play like 5 games for in the playoffs, which is just insane. Um, they think the football playoff, like the championship game, is gonna be a week before the Super Bowl. That's how
I think this
far.
is just their way of to get an NFL type schedule.
Yeah, or just like have like a super league, like how they were trying to do back in the day, a couple of years ago. I don't know, but that's on the horizon.
Yeah, but then creating your own league, I don't know. Like, now we're just getting into different territory. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like, okay, so it's just gonna be only the SEC.
yeah. And people are like, we don't really care about the SEC anymore because they're not as dominant anymore. So, um, yeah,
Like, who just wants to watch a one division playoff?
Texas versus Oklahoma.
It's just like, how is that any fun? That'd be if we only watch the NL West.
Yeah. Yeah. And then finally Terry Rozier came out and it was said that he was bribed $100,000 to manipulate his performance while
Not
he
enough.
was in the NBA, which is I don't know. It's just that whole basketball scandal and betting and who is going down for it. It's just I don't know. Terry
I just
Rozier is a good player too, and
I
he's
can't believe that's enough.
he's doing this for $100,000. Can't even buy a
I
house.
mean he probably gets money for he can't even buy a third of a house. I can't even buy a fifth of a house. Um like he was on like a 20 million a year contract. Like I just don't understand how the 100K like what was he doing where he needed that 100K?
Yeah, unless he was,
I mean, he was probably getting money off of his like the bet also, maybe. But is it really that much money like
yeah,
to ruin your career?
you're down bad if you just want 100K. So
You're literally one of the best and like basketball players in the world playing in the NBA,
yeah,
and you're gonna ruin it for 100K.
shot creator basically.
Someone had to have some dirt.
Yeah,
And it must have been bad.
it must have been real bad and must have been mixed up with the wrong people, I guess.
It must have been
So
real bad.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
Miami, you don't know what happens in Miami.
But it seems like that's all it takes for all the people, all the players that bet is like it's just a little portion of something for some reason. Like
And he probably didn't even
they,
think the 100K was that bad,
uh,
It's pocket change or something. I don't know.
was it 100K? Sure, I need a trip somewhere for
Yeah,
100K.
going to the Bahamas. But yep, that's it for my headlines. Your headlines this week. Hopefully everyone enjoyed this episode. And go Knicks.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see who wins. I think it would be fun if the Knicks win just to see how crazy New York gets,
It's
but uh
gonna be
I
very
don't know if
tough.
they can do it. I don't know if they can do it against whoever they face. I don't know. It's gonna be rough.
Uh, should be a good one though.
Yeah.
Game 7 tomorrow. And we'll see everyone next week.